Well, thank you for staying tuned. Well, like I said earlier, it's about a little above 30 days to the inauguration of the president-elect, BOLA TINUBU. And like I said, we'll bring you up to speed with happenings. Earlier, I arrived at Defense House, where I spoke with my colleague, Femi Akonde, and there was a closed-door meeting at that moment. But now, going back to Femi now to bring us again up to speed with developments immediately after that time. Now, Femi, back to you again. I was just counting the days, and I saw that we have 33 days, actually, to May 29. So the clock is ticking, and, activities are going on. Any updates for us first at this time?
Well, Tolu, the meeting is still on. After we spoke, we saw the Speaker of Kaduna State House of Assembly. He arrived here, joined them in the meeting. The Governor of Kwara State also arrived and joined them inside in the meeting. It is still ongoing. We know that the meeting is between the President-elect of course and the Vice President-elect, members of the Transition Committee. Also, the President of the Senate is there. I have also seen the Deputy President of the Senate join them in that meeting. So we know that all of that is ahead of preparations for the May 29 handover, and to ensure that all plans are in place. All their strategies are intact ahead of that all-important May 29 handover day. But Tolu, let me bring in our colleague Ola Awako. He has been embedded in the Asiwaju crew, Asiwaju Bola TINUBU crew. He's been following them around all through the campaign from one point to the other, even after election and all of that. Ola, we've seen Asiwaju has returned to the country, but his house has become a mecca of sorts. We have seen the kind of visitors he received and all of that. Talk to us about these visitors. Who are they, and what's the significance of these visits?
Okay, Femi, today makes it the third day that Asiwaju Bola TINUBU returns from France after like 30 days or thereabouts of vacation. And I tell you that his residence at Asokoro area here in Abuja has been, filled with activities, and the caliber of people that have been coming shows that I can tell you categorically that work has started. Because like yesterday, for instance, he was awake until like 1 a.m., having series of meetings with the likes of the Senate President who was around and a few other people. And it's not just for them coming to say, you're welcome from your trip. It's for them coming to say, yes, what can we do? And Asiwaju Bola TINUBU, the President-elect, as you rightly know, that is a man that is always proactive in terms of his work. And you could say, I can tell you that the passion that I have seen in him since he arrived from his trip in Paris showed that his passion for this country is so dear to making sure that things work rightly in this country, and he's passionate about making sure that his renewed hope, promise is being fulfilled. Yeah. So for the past 2 days, today making it the third day, it's been a beehive of activities at his residence in Asokoro, and that will continue. We've had series of legislators, we have executive governors.
Speaking of legislators, Ola, a lot of people are talking about the 10th National Assembly, who gets what and how. We saw Senator Godswill Akpabio. He visited him yesterday. We saw Senator Barau Jibrin. We have seen some other senators come to visit him. What are you hearing? What are you hearing, or what are they saying?
Well, Femi, you would expect that meetings like this would continue to go on, because the next administration has a lot to offer this country, and anybody who is interested in any key position would have to meet with the president-elect to do a kind of permutation, to do a kind of discussion, to present yourself before him, and that is what has been going on. We cannot say categorically that this is where the die is going to fall towards, or this is what is going to happen. But there's been a lot of strategic meetings. There's been a lot of lobbying. There's been a lot of permutation going on here and there, and all these meetings geared towards them, putting their best foot forward in terms of what they can offer the country.
You know something, Ola, Tolu is interested in knowing what this administration has in plan or for the economy, for businesses, startups, and all of that. You know, we've heard Asiwaju talk about all of these during his campaigns, and you know the kind of meeting he has been holding. Does it also suggest that indeed there are plans ongoing for the economy? We saw his delegation that's the delegation of the Transitional Committee that went to represent him at the World Bank, at the spring meeting of the World Bank and all of that. But what are they saying about the economy? What feelers are we getting?
Well, it's certain from the discussions that we've seen so far, and the people that have been caliber of people that have been coming to have deliberations and consultations with Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, the president-elect. It's obvious that his plan is to make sure that the economy is put aright, and just to also work on what is already in existence, to top it up and make sure that everything is all right. He's been having series of meetings away from the meetings that he's been having. You know, even while he was away in France, he had quite a number of meetings, and all these meetings boils down to ensuring that the economy of the country is being put aright when it gets there. The inauguration is few weeks away, and just like I told you, that work has started in earnest. Asiwaju Bola Tinubu has been concerned about capacity building, has been so concerned about making sure that local industries are being put aright. He's been concerned about making sure that small businesses help, has been concerned about giving credit loans to businesses to thrive in the country. And if you look at his track record in Lagos and what he has done to ensure that a few businesses that are in Lagos are doing well, he has promised to also bring that to bear when it comes to the administration of the country. So all these meetings are ongoing within and outside the shores of this country to ensure that he has the right set of people to to push.
Well, let's allow Tolu weigh in on this. Tolu, from the business community, expectations are also very high. People are already setting agenda for the incoming administration. What kind of conversations are they having, Tolu?
Indeed, Femi, very importantly, you pointed out that fact. I'm so interested in the economic angle of it, because we know what we are grappling with as a nation. Inflation is above 21%. Our growth rate is suspected to be low. So many will say a country owing more than 40 trillion naira. And that's what many seeing the administration handing over to Asiwaju Bola Tinubu will say a lot needs to be done. And I also agree with Ola saying that work has started. Work indeed needs to start, because there's a lot on the plate. Now, the student loan and the credit loan thing is something that is very interesting. That is what is done in other countries like the US and the UK, where people are able to go to school and run small businesses, getting funds to do all of this. And that is something that he kept saying during his campaign. We expect the actualization of that, because that is very important to help remove people from the street. Out of school children number remains much. We also have to be take into consideration food security. A hungry man is an angry man. So issues around agriculture, I think, would also be a focus. And like Olas mentioned, the local industries must work if we are to enjoy the benefits of our agricultural proceeds by adding value to what we produce. So a lot needs to be done. And for the private sector, what they are saying, Femi, directly to your question, they are ready to work with Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. They're ready to partner with him. His antecedents, what he has done in Lagos, they believe so much that he would open up the market. We need somebody that will bring in investors. Government cannot create the kind of jobs that we need. Unemployment is above 30%. How do we manage it? We have underemployment. We have all of these figures, not my figures, National Bureau of Statistics comes up with all of these figures. So a lot of work needs to be done. And I believe that this team that we are seeing will be able to deliver what is expected to Nigerians. Femi, what more are you thinking around the political space too? What kind of synergy do you expect in the party? The party administration is something that's also very important. And many will say that Bola Tinubu is a unifier. He can bring people together, settle rifts, and make sure the party is also in tandem, because that is also part of what will make him succeed, if you agree with me.
Yes, Asiwaju Tinubu, everyone would say that he's a party man to the core. Even his biggest critics would give him credit for that. We have seen how he midwifed the birth of the All Progressives Congress through the merger of the All Nigeria People's Party, a faction of APGA, the ACN, Action Congress of Nigeria at that time, and the Congress of Progressive Change and the CPC. He was able to bring all of these different groups together, strange political bedfellows you may want to call them, bring them together and form a formidable political force, the All Progressives Congress. That got that popular vote in 2015 and removed the administration of President Goodluck Jonathan and brought in President Muhammad Buhari. Again, with that same force, they won re-election in 2019. So he has played a very critical and crucial role in stabilizing the party. He has been the pillar of the All Progressives Congress since that party was formed till this very day. He has, not just at the national level, now even at the sub-national levels, we have seen him intervene in some kind of a conflict and rifts at the state level. Even in the build-up to the election, when he was traveling to campaign for votes, most times when he gets to some states, you find out that there's so much trouble in the party. The first thing he did was to ensure that all of that trouble, the axe they have to grind is set aside, the hatchet is buried, and everyone comes on board, all hands on deck, to work in the interest of the party and the emergence or the victory of the party on the presidential ballot. When he also gave his acceptance speech after he was declared winner of the presidential election, he also gave the governor of Zamfara State credit, and indeed all of those in Zamfara State, they had serious political differences in that state, but they were able to set aside their differences and work in the common interest of the party, and he gave them credit for that. He also credited a lot of states who had to set aside their differences, personal differences, and allowed the interests of the party to override whatever sentiments they had. All of these has been to the credit of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, and we also expect in the coming days that we would see the machinery of the party function very well, even as their eyes is now on the National Assembly to see how the leadership would emerge. Of course, the party is interested. Asiwaju Bola Tinubu is not the chairman of the party, but we know that the party will have to defer to him to make certain critical decisions. So for the party, they have somebody who is interested in the affairs of the party as president-elect. And of course, when he's sworn in as commander-in-chief on the 29th of May, we also expect to see some sense of stability within the All Progressives Congress, which is the governing party. Tolu.
Interesting stuff there. I made you go memory lane there, bring us back to the start of democracy in 1999 and all that Asiwaju Bola Tinubu has been able to do. Well, Femi, I'll still put you, of course, on standby. When we come back to you, let me get to the studio. We'll talk about what we should expect from Asiwaju's cabinet. Everyone is talking about that. So let's take a break. I'll come back to the studio and I'll be with you again before we wrap up Business Nigeria to talk more around that. My colleague Femi Akonde there live, and also Ola Awakon there live from the Defense House in Abuja.